Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness Today. Sit-at-home Mondays have almost become a lifestyle in Southeast, despite the fact that the newest Governor Soludo, Anambra State Governor, had insisted that it should be abolished and no longer recognized. But there was almost 100% compliance cut across board in Southeast, where it looks like the US-based World Igbo Congress have decided to wade into the matter and also to look at the issue of insecurity, lawlessness, and probably the issue of Biafra. Before we go into the news proper, for us to find exactly what they said, we like you subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Let's go straight into the news. Texas, United States-based World Igbo Congress, WIC, as of Tuesday, criticized Southeast politicians for being self-minded. Well, report has it that World Igbo Congress WIC insinuated that the Southeast political aristocracies are less concerned about the unlawful arrests and imprisonment of Igbo youths. I quote them: "Anyone in doubt of Nigerian dissolution can see what the North is doing with rotation of governance. Equity only when they are receiving. Self-minded political aristocracies in the East must be ashamed. The West mind their own and the North protect Abukari. Igbo youth in jail," WIC's tweet through its official handle reads. Let me quote them word for word how it appeared on the page. "So anyone in doubt of Nigeria's dissolution can see what the North is doing with rotation of governance. Equity only when they are receiving. Self-minded political aristocracies in the East must be ashamed. The West mind their own, and Igbos and the North protect Abukari. Igbo youths are always in jail." Founded in 1994, WIC says its initiative focuses on encouraging good governance and accountable leadership in the Igbo-speaking state of Nigeria. Over the past 2 decades, the organization has continued to find ways to exert its influence on issues regarding ethnic division and conflict that affect the welfare of Igbo people in Nigeria. It also usually tries to bring both international and domestic attention to socio-political issues and government policies that are deemed hostile to the interest of Igbo people. Quite a lot of people have reacted to this. I must say kudos to them because what they said, they just summarized what is going on in Nigeria. Equity has been our problem. Marginalization is the order of the day. Insecurity is now a norm. My condolences to those who lost their lives in the train crash that the terrorists did to our people. One of our young medical doctors. Initially, she was shot, but right now she's been confirmed dead. Quite a number of persons are in the hospital. These are trains that we have borrowed for. Permit me. These bandits have already started destroying the train. We've not even paid for them. If they continue to destroy each and every trade, that means we have collected loans that we can't even pay for life, or we collected loans that we continue paying and we don't have uses and we can't use them anymore. Is that investment? Who does investment in an insecure environment? The first thing the government ought to have done, if they were serious about investment and changing the status quo and the level of finances for all Nigerians, would have been to tackle the issue of insecurity. First, it started with them rolling around the Kaduna airport. Nigerians were like, okay, that's okay, at least no harm was done and all that. Now it is the rail. They destroyed the track, immobilized the track, then went straight for the train. They had over 990 passengers thereabout. and some of them were rescued, some lost their lives. Is that how we're going to continue? Where the bandits are overwhelming Nigerians? Are we going to play politics? Just recently, the Minister of Communication, Lai Mohammed, was saying that this whole issue of insecurity is a propaganda taken too far, that areas are secured, our roads are secured, that's just the opposition party trying to be mischievous. This does not sound mischievous. These are real human being, real situation events taking place. Too bad that we have found ourselves in this situation. And now WIC is calling on the Igbo politicians to don't be selfish. Don't have your self-interest. Every region seems to be protecting their own. Say that Bukhari's, I'm sure he's referring to their Bukhari's they are referring to has to do with their Bukis. Protecting their own. When it comes to the issue of governance, it's either them or them. And they seem to have understanding that, okay, if we must go as president, the vice should come from the south. If you must come from the south, it should come from the southwest. I can't remember the last time an Igbo man became a vice president. How much you are a president? And this continues. Sometimes if you hear the cry and the outburst and the cry for marginalization, maybe you should also put your ears to this part too. Who feels wanted, with due respect to everyone? Who feels wanted when it is time to share benefits, they remember that they don't exist or they don't belong. When it's time to share the works, remember, yeah, you're part of us, you're part of the family, they give you works to do. But when it comes to rewards and benefits, they remember, no, you actually do not belong here. There's no right thinking person, no matter how dull the person is, it's just a matter of time. Or he or she will feel left out and will want out. I guess that's what we're feeling. Already, the Jadinju had congratulated a lot of Ndibos, said, look, the economy of Nigeria, to a great extent, the Ndibos have been sustaining it. Even the whites, the foreigners decided to take time and study the Igbo apprenticeship style and even introduce it to some of the international institutions, foreign institutions, because it's a unique style of empowering people within the same set or community without necessarily taking so much as a loan, which makes a lot of sense. Even the whites are beginning to imbibe it, and this are the ingenuity of an Igbo man. For how long will this continue? When they talked about SitAtHome and being abolished, I feared for militarization of Southeast. That if the SitAtHome continues, unfortunately, the Southeastern governors will looking towards having militarization in the Southeast, and may not always go well. It doesn't always go well. It doesn't always end well. We're looking at something more realistic, more real. Now that's more like dialogue, and I don't know if that can suffice, but let's see how it goes. That's where we're going to wrap it up. What do you say about what WIC, what Igbo Congress has got to say about the Igbo's Southeastern leaders and the leaders of Nigeria?